Hey, how you doing? This is Adam Post, publisher of more than 1,000 comic books. Today we are talking about Woke Broke Marvel. Woke Broke Marvel is not working. Woke don't work. We're going to go over this article from Cosmic Book News. We're also going to go over something that I couldn't stop laughing about, DC being called out for controversial changes to Hispanic heritage cover art. They somehow managed to make an homage thing really actually look racist. So I think legit something is seriously wrong with it. But first, we're going to Matt McGloin's Cosmic Book News. Before we get into the article, please do subscribe to the channel. Click the bell for notifications and give me a thumbs up when you like it. Okay, so Woke Marvel Star Wars huge Disney bust confirms merchandise sales are down. Kevin Feige's Woke Marvel approach is not only failing at the box office and on Disney Plus, but with merchandise as well. Look how mad She-Hulk is about it. Kevin Feige's Woke Marvel approach is again proven to be a failure, this time confirmed by merchandise sales, which also includes Lucasfilm and Star Wars. And what I really like about what Matt did here is he went right into their financial reports, which is something that you can't really get away from. That's how you know. Numbers do not lie. In the following article, Matt goes over what happened with Disney Star Wars following The Last Jedi and its consumer products division, because that's actually reported in their financial results. It's not just talk, it's numbers. And how it's comparable to what's happening now with Marvel, all of it from Disney. Matt goes over how Marvel's woke, how Marvel is failing to deliver for Disney Plus and on the big screen, and following that, a toy industry insider offers a look into Marvel's merchandise sales, proving Woke Marvel is a huge bust. It don't work. Woke don't work. Marvel is woke. Regarding Marvel being woke, it really all started with Captain Marvel, when it made its way into the Avengers Endgame and then blew up with Kevin Feige's Phase 4 approach. Black Widow is a feminist Me Too movie where, among other things, fan-favorite villain Taskmaster is replaced by a female character. Why not just create new characters to accommodate your woke desires? And is the worst performing Marvel movie at the box office. Of course, the Black Widow movie supposedly was damaged heavily by being released simultaneously on Disney Plus, or released as a pay-per-view on Disney Plus at the same time, which also allowed it to be easily pirated. And I saw it, it really wasn't that great a film. Shang-Chi isn't all that bad, but it's been rejected by the Asian audience, where Matt believes the movie is insulting, as Shang-Chi has the lowest box office in South Korea among any of the Phase 4 films by nearly 50%. And what's also amazing is, obviously they made this to tap into China, and even though Disney has tremendous relationships with China, obeying China's every command, they are not able to get Shang-Chi distributed in China. Eternals is a gender-swapped mess, and the insider reveals is the worst selling of the new Marvel merchandise, and they're going to use more about that below. Doctor Strange 2 got rid of its director and had been completely changed to accommodate Scarlet Witch and America Chavez. Now, they actually made these changes because they said, well, Doctor Strange, he's a white male, so you've got to rewrite. You can't write it the same way. It's got to be rewritten. Terrible. On the Disney Plus side, Kevin Feige confirmed Doctor Strange wasn't allowed in WandaVision because he's a white male character. So they lose a crossover opportunity. They lose an opportunity to build the Disney Plus brand and to build the health of the Marvel Universe because the guy's white. Loki is replaced by Sylvie. Falcon replaces Captain America, where the Toy Insider reveals Falcon as Falcon actually outsells Falcon as Captain America. Isn't that amazing? Hawkeye is replaced, of course, by Kate Bishop. Matt doesn't have anything bad to say about Moon Knight, though following the last episode, Marvel on social media, not the show itself, did confirm it's gender-swapping a classic character. Which classic character? Tell us, Matt. Okay, the Scarlet Scarab. Who cares? To be honest. Everything has been changed about Kamala Khan in Ms. Marvel to be the first MCU mutant. She-Hulk is woke and has been rejected by fans and me, completely changes the origin of the character so a man wouldn't save a female. Can't have any male heroics here. And the show probably has the worst writing and special effects of anything from Marvel in the past 20 years. And Marvel did have some clunky stuff back in the day, but She-Hulk, at least the first episode's pretty bad, which is the setup for the whole series. Why would you do that? Let me know if you think it was bad, or if there's any other Marvel stuff you think it was terrible in the comments below, please. So typically, what happens is that characters and stories are changed to fulfill an agenda, which sees those characters and stories sacrificed in order for that agenda to fit, where the new character makes the original look bad, a la Rey and Luke. And that's woke. So you're replacing the classic character with your new woke character in a way that makes the classic character look bad. Of course people don't want to pay to see that. Marvel's woke producer said that X-Men also is outdated simply because it contains the word men. I mean, that was a very successful franchise for Fox when they were making the movies. Of course, in the comics and in animation, X-Men's been hugely successful, but, you know, it does have men in the title. That's a big problem. Matt predicted all of this years ago. And again, I do want you to check out comicbook.news. He does have a lot of great articles here. Disney consumer products revenue has been stagnant. So what's happening now with Marvel is much like what happened with Disney Star Wars. Following reports on the decline of Star Wars merchandise every year since the release of The Last Jedi, Disney actually changed how it reports merchandise in its quarterly investor reports, as the company now combines the consumer products division with its park division. Isn't that sneaky? So rather than show you the numbers, they hide the numbers. When companies start to hide numbers like this, Netflix did this a year before, at least a year before their stock tanked, and they reported they had lost a lot of subscribers earlier in 2022. And they were saying they were going to no longer report the differences in subscriber ads between international and domestic US or something on that order. And you could just kind of tell they knew things weren't right, and they just were like, well, we're going to kind of start hiding our numbers. When numbers get hidden, it's not a good sign. What this is doing by combining consumer products and the parks division in their quarterly reports, their 10 Qs, is it's hiding losses from merchandise and makes it appear that both divisions are doing well, when what's really going on is the success of the parks division offsets and hides the low revenue of the consumer products division. Okay, and that's got a beautiful chart here. For example, it's in Disney's July 2022 investor report, it's reported that Parks and Experience and Consumer Products division together, revenue is up 70% from last year. But taking a look at the actual numbers reveals Parks and Experiences is up 95%. While Consumer Products really saw no gain, it's only at 2%. That's not good. So you see that's the difference between 70 and 95% is made up of the difference between 2 and 70%. That's drastic. So again, we see the big success of Parks and Experiences causes Parks and Experiences and consumer products in a combined category to look like a big success, but in reality, merchandise is failing or flat. What is alarming is that Disney investor report is currently revealing everything is up from last year because of COVID, but not its consumer products division, which obviously tells us that no one is running to the stores to buy any of the new Disney merchandise, which includes Marvel and Star Wars. I mean, what better brands could you have except when you undercut the value of the brand because you decide you want to subvert expectations so that she can be a tough guy, She-Hulk or whatever it is that they're doing. Terrible. Then you don't want a keepsake. You don't want a physical totem. You don't want an item that represents the horrificness of what they're doing. And it's actually the opposite of doing things that people obviously love, like, and want to keep going and have reminders of good feelings about. That's what merchandise is for. Marvel fans are not buying into it. So what's going on? Well, if fans aren't buying it, it doesn't mean they don't like it. No, it means they don't like it, of course. Earlier, also saw it reported that Marvel had been failing to deliver for Disney Plus, as a report from Business Insider, which followed Disney's stock dropping significantly, stated that the Marvel shows on Disney Plus are only catering to existing fans and are not bringing in any new subscribers. because you don't have anyone talking excitedly about them unless they're complaining about them being woke, let's be honest. It's said that while Marvel has massive success with existing subscribers, the shows haven't gone far in attracting new fans and growing the subscriber base. And why would you be creating all this new content? And there's too much to watch of Marvel series and all that at this point. There's just too much. Let them keep making it. But the whole point of creating all of that content is to bring new people to the Disney Plus platform. And if it's not doing that, it's not working. Evidence Marvel isn't doing anything for Disney Plus comes from the ratings from its two most recent shows, Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk, which are pretty much in the gutter, especially Ms. Marvel, as they are the lowest viewed for Marvel on Disney Plus. And there are links to all this in the article, which of course I'm going to link to you below. More of the same comes from Wall Street analysts who have stated they're skeptical of the Disney Plus streaming service and its Marvel and Star Wars brands' ability to bring new subscribers, because there isn't excitement about the brands. You can't build distribution if there isn't excitement about the brands. If there's excitement about what you're selling, you can sell it almost anywhere. And that's what's missing. They're trying to do too much at once. Not too much content, too much with changing all the characters to be whatever, gender swapped or whatever their woke agendas are. The Wall Street analysts and Business Insider's report has since been proven correct, as the July Investors Report reveals Disney Plus only saw a 5% increase in the number of subscribers in the US and Canada, proving that Marvel and Star Wars brands are doing nothing to increase the subscribers. If anything, they're just basically helping to maybe hold on to them. We can also add that in addition to Marvel Disney shows not all being that successful, hence why they have ultra-low budgets from Disney, Kevin Feige's Phase 4 approach to the movies also hasn't been that well received, as they are among the lowest Marvel films at the box office. Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals are all at the bottom, and both Doctor Strange 2 and Thor Love and Thunder are considered to have not lived up to box office potential. Doctor Strange 2 followed up the soon-to-be multi-billion-dollar Spider-Man No Way Home multiverse movie, but failed to reach $1 billion when it should have easily done so, and Thor Love and Thunder is significantly down compared to Ragnarok, which I thought Ragnarok was cool. And Love and Thunder's... Why do they have to do this? They have to do this because they have to destroy the classic heroes. If you have any other ideas about that, put in the comments below. Please. Insider blows the doors off of Marvel merchandise. Of course, with the Marvel shows and movies not being successful, that's going to trickle down to the merchandise sales. The merchandise sales are only going to be supported by very popular shows. A toy industry insider blows the doors off of Marvel merchandise in a report from That Park Place, where the insider reveals only Spider-Man merchandise is really selling. Notice Spider-Man's really not woke. That Captain America and Iron Man are big sellers, and that none of the Phase 4 stuff from Kevin Feige is selling. Get this, it's even reported that Disney and Marvel mandate what sells as they mandate female representation, but the problem is nothing of the female representation is selling. So it cuts into the profits of what does sell, that again being Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man, and to a lesser extent, but larger than the female characters, Thor and Hulk. Well, that's too bad. Look, if they're compelling, they'll sell. But if they're not compelling, they're not going to sell. People want to be inspired. They want to be engaged. They want to be interested. It's not going to happen if the characters aren't there. So Disney and Marvel know that the female characters don't make money, and they mandate retailers to sell them anyway. Can you believe that? They force them to have them in stores, all at the cost of revenue and profit for themselves and the retailers. That is woke. So they force the stores to take the merchandise. Star Wars merchandise continues to be a disaster. The Insider offers more of the same regarding Star Wars following The Last Jedi, and we can also add the info is proven correct by the fact fans didn't back the Moses Ingram Inquisitor lightsaber at Hasbro. Remember that campaign that couldn't get funded? A Star Wars campaign that can't get funded? I mean, come on, come on. Furthermore, just as Matt's reported in the past on how there are no new Star Wars movies being made due to the reception of Last Jedi, no new Star Wars movies in theaters is hurting the brand as well, because there is not exposure. Overall, the toy company holding licensees have mandates from companies operating in 3 huge consumer categories. Princesses are doing fine for most license holders, no issues. Lucasfilm was a disaster, with new characters having no consumer pull. And worse, even classic characters are now seeing diminishing returns, because you have to keep it alive. You have to keep it alive by doing more good stuff that's on brand. If it isn't selling, Walmart doesn't want your dead plastic garment or whatever. Also, the brand is no longer a theatrical brand. It didn't go over well with business partners because if you've got a movie based on just about anything, it's going to create some interest. Even a bad movie can help sell and create interest in merchandise. But no movies, no merch sales. Marvel merchandise is down 50%. Regarding Marvel merchandise, the insider reveals that Marvel is down 50% in the number of units sold and down 30% in dollars, and that Eternals is the worst. The new stuff is failing to generate the level 2 and level 3 interest that brings in the big dollars branded at retail. Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man are holding everything together at this point. And those are the only things that are actually selling. Eternals was the worst across the board, but here's the general statement. Female heroes do not sell merchandise. You know, it used to be that way in comics, too. But if people are excited about the characters, people are excited about Lady Death, for example, by Brian Polito, they're going to buy the Lady Death toys and merchandise. They're just not excited about these characters. Now the female characters really do have a chance, but it's got to be compelling. It's got to be good, and it can't be woke. Marvel asks for female representation. The insider gives an example in that if you're going to ship plastic cups to Marvel, the ideal mix would be 2 of each Spider-Man, Captain America, and Iron Man with 1 Hulk, 1 Thor, but Marvel would ask for 50% female representation. Again, even though they know it doesn't sell, which could be talked down to 25%. But again, the problem is the female characters don't sell. Todd McFarlane, who owns the McFarlane Toys, also confirms this. All right, from the Todd father. Of course, Marvel would ask for 50% female representation, but you could deal with that down to 25%, where Thor and Hulk are out, replaced by Widow and Wanda. Thor and Hulk outsell Widow by at least 8-1, with an even bigger gap for Wanda. See, McFarlane knows his stuff. The problem here is, as the male heroes sell and you ship more case packs, the female heroes back up the shelves and clog the pipeline. Thousands of stores in the U.S., tons of markdowns. So they ship 50% female representation, packed out, even though people aren't interested in the characters. The insider reveals more about Eternals, again, Marvel's worst film at the box office and worst rated MCU movie, in that Marvel-mandated retailers sell the same amount of Eternals merchandise as the classic, more popular stuff. But since no one bought Eternals, it brought down the bottom line, leading to a big loss. How about Marvel obligating you to ship a case pack of Eternals-themed drinking cups for each case of classic characters shipped, something they did over many categories when Eternals came out? At that point, markdowns are so significant, you're losing money. It's terrible. Marvel Disney Plus doesn't register with consumers. Much like the Wall Street analysts have said above, the toy industry insider also reveals that none of the Marvel shows on Disney Plus are seeing any interest from fans. None? None. Also, virtually none of the purely TV characters even register with consumers for merchandising purposes. None. Falcon as Falcon sells better than Falcon as Captain America. It's ridiculous. The insider continues and offers insights into what sells, where it is learned Falcon as Falcon sells better than him being Captain America. Marvel management, though not Disney management, know damn well what their creative decisions are doing and impacting merchandising revenue, but they're trying to manage things where merchandise sales from classic characters, masks, are also balanced out from poor merchandise sales from new Marvel characters. 2 regional observations for North America. Captain America is number 2 in the US, with Iron Man 3rd, both behind Spider-Man, and in Canada, Cap is 3rd behind Iron Man. So Captain America is top 3 in both Canada and the US, but another note on Cap, blue shirt with shield, but no character visual name, is a USA bestseller. Falcon outsells Falcon's Captain America, as we said. The insider adds that choosing which licensed characters to use is key, as the difference could make a couple of 100,000 units and millions of dollars. So they're giving up millions at Disney. This is why David Zaslav, he's not going to be doing this in Warner Brothers Discovery. I think we all know that. And I just created a playlist of my Warner Brothers Discovery Zaslav videos. I've been doing so many of them, so you might want to check that out. They're also they're pretty cool. I'll put a link to it in the description below. Quote, Marvel is pushing Falcon, Shang-Chi, and any female character, often obligating you to include a hefty bunch of these characters in your mix, which is the top-selling beach towel, Spider-Man or Shang-Chi, says the insider. I think the answer is clearly Spider-Man. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. We're going to have to do this as a separate video. A DC called out for controversial changes to Hispanic heritage art because look what look what they did. The first version of this, look, this is the first version of this, but that wasn't good for DC. It wasn't spicy enough. So they changed it to this. Viva Mexico. So, you know, a Mexican flag behind him there, and, you know, that's pretty cool. And then they made it like this. He's got Viva Mexico and a big flag that he's holding. And they actually, I was looking at this like, is this a spoof or something? Is this like satire? He's literally holding a bag of tamales. It's a bag of tamales. Like, not all Mexicans eat tamales, okay? I mean, I don't know what all Mexicans do. I'm sure some do. I don't eat tamales myself, but that doesn't mean it doesn't. You don't take the lantern and give him a bag of tamales. So you see comments from the artist in this article. I will definitely have a link to this. And look at this tamales in the description below, so you can check this out for yourself. And you know, this. Something is truly wrong with this. What made them do this, I have no idea. Maybe you would have some suggestions about it in the comments below. Maybe it is a spoof or something, and I'm just missing it. But, I mean, even the artist is commenting and saying, hey, I can't really comment on it because I'm the artist, and they made me do it. He says here, Jorge Molina says, hard to keep my mouth shut. All I can say is one has my signature and the other one doesn't. Go figure. So he asked them to take this is his original, his signature is on it, Jorge Gonzalez. And in this one, his signature is off because they made him draw tamales that are floating in space. What are they thinking? Why would they do this? It just doesn't make sense. All right, I will see you again soon with another video. And if I don't see you, I will miss you.